Okay, we're not spiraling, we're just aggressively thinking. Wow, that is impressively empty. Hey, I know, I'm mad too. At the container, not at you. You know what's funny? I used to run audits where one mistake could cost a company millions. And now I'm being humbled by plastic. And Little Bear found its way home. Just like you, my sweet. I told myself I wouldn't do this again. I said, Clara, next time you figure it out, you don't ask. Next time, apparently, was very optimistic of me. No, you're okay. You're okay. I've got you. I always do. Even when I don't. I hate this part. Because once you ask, you can't pretend you're fine anymore. Just $50. That's not even dramatic. That's barely a failure.
You ever notice how quiet it gets up here? People think it's peaceful. It's not, it's sealed. Huh. $50. That's not someone being lazy. That's someone who already tried everything else. My mother used to apologize when she asked for help, like the asking was worse than the hunger. I could just send it, pretend I was generous, pretend that was the end of it. But I know how this part goes. You help from far away so you don't have to feel it.
Who's there? I heard something. I know you're there. That's not funny.
Clara?
Ethan?
Clara? Hey, I know this is weird. I'm Ethan. I think you meant to text someone else.
I did. I'm really sorry if...
No, don't. You didn't do anything wrong. I brought formula and diapers and too much stuff, probably. Is he all right?
He's fine, just a little fussy.
He seems so restless.
He's settling now. You didn't have to come all the way here.
I know.
Then why did you?
I thought it was the right thing at the time. Because sending money felt like closing a door, and I didn't want to do that.
I don't make a habit of this.
Neither do I.
Thank you.
Of course.
Really.
You're welcome. Hey, if you ever want coffee, no pressure, just normal coffee.
I almost didn't come. I stood outside for 5 minutes telling myself this was a bad idea. That normal people don't meet strangers who show up at their apartment at midnight with baby formula. But then I remembered, normal people don't show up at all.
That's fair. For what it's worth, I also debated canceling. Not because I didn't want to come, because I wasn't sure how to explain myself without sounding unhinged. This coffee is perfect, just like you.
You're sweet. It's good to see you.
You too. I keep thinking about that night, not in a dramatic way, just in this annoying... It's that persistent way where your brain won't let something go because it knows you missed something important. I've sent money to people before. Donations, grants, checks with my name typed neatly at the bottom. But that message you sent, it didn't feel like a transaction. It felt like a person standing too close to the edge and trying not to say it out loud.
I wasn't trying to make a statement. I was just trying to get through the night without failing my kid in a way she'd never forget. Calm. I hate that asking for help turns into a whole psychological event. Like the moment you ask, you stop being competent in everyone's eyes, including your own.
Yeah, that part doesn't really go away, no matter how much money you have.
So, what now?
I don't know. We need to figure it out.
Together? Because I don't want this to turn into a story where I owe you something I didn't agree to owe.
I don't want that either. Honestly, I just wanted to make sure you were okay and maybe understand why that message landed the way it did. You mentioned you used to work in finance.
Yes, I did. I guess it's time to face it. But maybe there's still hope. Accounting, internal audits, the unglamorous stuff that makes executives uncomfortable. Why does this feel unresolved? Should I be asking more questions? Because it involves ask questions instead of celebrating results. I noticed patterns that didn't make sense. Money moving too cleanly, too politely. When I asked about it, they told me I was disruptive, which is corporate for please stop sucking so closely.
And then?
We face it together.
Okay, we'll do it.
And my badge stopped working. No dramatic firing, just removal.
That's the part people don't talk about. How systems don't attack you, they simply stop acknowledging you exist. I've benefited from that silence more times than I like to admit.
You don't strike me as someone who likes that fact.
I don't. Liking something and changing it are two very different levels of courage. Think I might need your kind of courage. I run an investment firm. Big, complicated, clean on paper. And I'm starting to suspect that someone inside it is using that cleanliness as camouflage, not stealing loudly, stealing intelligently.
You're asking me to audit your company. You don't strike me as someone who likes that fact.
I'm asking you to tell me the truth, even if it makes things uncomfortable for both of us.
You know that if I do this, I won't be careful in the way people expect. I don't know how to half see things anymore. And I can't afford to be disposable again. Not with a child depending on me.
I wouldn't ask you to risk that if I wasn't willing to risk something too.
This is really nice.
I'm glad we could do this.
Me too. I'll look. No promises beyond that. If something's wrong, I won't soften it for your comfort.
Good. Comfort is what got me suspicious in the first place.
I always forget how intentional places like this are. Nothing here is accidental. Not the lighting, not the silence, not the way everyone walks like they're late to something important. It's designed to make you feel small without ever insulting you directly.
That's a surprisingly accurate review of my building. Most people just say impressive and stop thinking after that.
You're calm.
I have to be.
That either means you trust me a lot more than you should, or you already know what I'm going to find.
I don't know what you'll find, but I know what it feels like when something is off and everyone around you is pretending it's not. That feeling doesn't go away on its own.
This is nicer than my last office. Although, to be fair, my last office technically stopped existing before I did.
If at any point this feels like too much, say it. I mean that.
I will. Just don't expect me to say it quietly. Okay, so far everything looks exactly like it should, which is never comforting.
Because? Look at the patterns.
It's all connected. Because real businesses are messy. They leak a little, they contradict themselves. Perfect symmetry usually means someone spent a lot of time polishing the lie.
You're not rushing.
Rushing is how people miss patterns and then blame the data instead of themselves. I like to let the numbers get comfortable first. There, that's interesting.
Interesting. Good or bad?
The patterns are unusual.
We need to verify this.
Interesting in the way that makes your stomach tighten a little before your brain catches up.
What do you see?
Look, these transfers are technically legal. They're just unnecessary.
Unnecessary how?
The data is corrupted. We need to reanalyze. Like someone moving money simply because they know no one will ask why.
You must be Clara.
Yes,
I've heard you're very thorough.
I try to be. That's one word for it.
Just wanted to welcome you. Fresh eyes are always good as long as they understand context.
Context doesn't usually change arithmetic. That explains the confidence. People who've never been questioned start to believe they're unquestionable. I don't think this started maliciously. It feels more like entitlement that grew legs. Here's the pattern. Charitable funds get temporarily repositioned, earn returns elsewhere, and somehow never quite make it all the way back.
So they're borrowing from people who can't afford to notice.
Exactly. It's theft dressed up as optimization.
I built my reputation on discipline, on knowing where every dollar was supposed to be. And this happened right under me.
That's usually how it happens, quietly, with permission implied by silence. This is the part where people usually ask me to be gentle, to phrase things in a way that keeps relationships intact.
I won't ask you that.
Good, because I'm tired of watching truth get negotiated down to something harmless.
If we follow this all the way through, people will leave. Some loudly, some quietly.
I know. But if we don't, this becomes the kind of place that teaches people silence is safer than honesty. And I won't work in that kind of building again.
Then we follow it.
Are you sure?
It's our only option. The timeline is tight. We need to deliver by Friday.
I know, but the team needs more time.
Find a way.
I triple-checked everything. Not because I doubted myself, but because this is the part where people later say, "Are you sure?" So yes, I'm sure.
I never questioned that. I was just hoping briefly that you'd tell me it was smaller than it felt.
It never is.
If I move on this, I lose people I've trusted for years. Not because they're innocent, but because they're connected to the ones who aren't. There's a version of leadership where you ignore this and call it stability.
And you think that's wrong. That version just pushes the damage onto people without leverage. It doesn't make it go away, it just makes it invisible.
But it's a start. You wanted to see me? Yeah, I did. Walk me through the Hope Bridge transfers, slowly. They're standard reallocations, strategic, fully compliant.
Compliant isn't the same as ethical. And strategic doesn't explain why they never fully return.
You're overinterpreting patterns that don't concern you.
But they do concern me. They concern me when the same temporary movement happens 12 times in a row, always benefiting the same entities. That stops being coincidence, somewhere around time number 3. Silence.
Your consulting agreements dissolve quietly. And you'll have the dignity of leaving without an announcement if you don't complicate this. You're choosing her word over mine? I'm choosing math over familiarity.
That wasn't easy.
I know, but you did it. No, but it was simpler than pretending I didn't understand what you showed me. I should have seen it sooner.
Is that him leaving?
Yeah, looks like it.
I hope he's okay. People always imagine accountability as loud. In reality, it's mostly paperwork and uncomfortable conversations no one rehearsed for.
Yeah, tell me about it. And a lot of people realizing they're less untouchable than they thought.
I keep waiting for the part where I feel triumphant, but mostly I just feel steady.
When I was younger, I thought control was the goal. If I could control outcomes, I could avoid regret. Turns out control just delays it.
Awareness speeds it up, but it also gives you options.
I don't want this to be a one-time fix. If you're willing, I want you overseeing internal accountability. Not as a shield, but as a conscience.
That's a heavy role to give someone who once got erased for doing the same thing.
That's exactly why I'm giving it to you. I know you're scared. We have to trust the plan.
But what if it goes wrong?
It won't, I promise.
Okay. Before I answer, I need to know this doesn't come with expectations that aren't written down.
I understand. It doesn't. Whatever this is, professionally or otherwise, it only exists if we both choose it deliberately.
Good. I'm done being quietly cornered. All right. I'll stay, but I won't soften edges to make people comfortable. You know what's strange? Nothing actually looks different in here. Same walls, same couch, same stubborn cabinet that never closes properly. But it feels like I can breathe without doing math in my head every 5 seconds. What are you building, sweetie?
A big house.
It's beautiful. Can I help? Yes, put the car here. That looks like a good spot for it.
It goes right here, Mommy.
I wasn't sure if stopping by would feel intrusive.
You knocked. That already puts you ahead of most people who think money is a personality.
I'm still learning where the line is between being present and being too much. How's she been sleeping?
Better. Turns out stability is great for babies. And adults, apparently.
Good. Less armored. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like somehow this steadiness is temporary and I'll wake up back where I started.
I know that feeling. When things stop being chaotic, your body doesn't trust it at first.
The new metrics show a clear improvement.
That's great. Let's discuss the next steps.
I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like somehow this steadiness is temporary and I'll wake up back where I started.
I know that feeling. When things stop being chaotic, your body doesn't trust it at first.
Yeah, I get that.
but it doesn't mean it's a trick.
You know, I used to think my biggest fear was losing control. Now I realize it was being seen clearly and not being able to hide behind efficiency or success. You see me, that's new.
I didn't mean to. It just kind of happens when people stop performing. I need to say this out loud, because I've spent years letting things go unsaid until they became regrets. I don't want to build my life around survival anymore. I want room for something that isn't urgent.
I don't want to build mine around isolation disguised as success.
So, we don't rush this, we don't label it to death. We just see if it fits into the lives we're actually living.
That sounds like the most responsible risk I've taken in a long time. You have a beautiful smile.
I was just thinking the same about you.
I'm glad we're here.
We're not fixing everything, but we're making it harder for the wrong people to stay comfortable. There, that's finished.
Great, let's review it. You changed the culture without announcing it. People listen differently now.
That's usually how real change works. Quiet enough that it sticks. So perfect.
Just like you. Hear that? Little talker.
All of this started because I asked for $50.
No. It started because you were honest when it would have been easier to disappear.
Oh, look at that smile.
He's so happy.
Yes, he is.
We love you.
I used to think asking for help meant losing power. Turns out it's how I found it.